to the cloud. Okay, so we're going to dive right in. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Guys, this is actually the first time I'm doing like a group Zoom thing like this, so if I suck, I'm sorry. I'm like figuring it out as I go along. Okay, so there we go. You guys can all see that, right? All right. Wait, am I blocked? Can you see the little screens of people? No, okay, perfect. All right, we can get started. So welcome to my Follow Freedom workshop. Thank you so much for signing up and for joining. I'm Emma, if anybody doesn't know that already. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about me because I actually do think there were people that signed up that I don't really know and that don't really know me. So my name is Emma, I am 26 years old. I am originally from Miami, Florida. I went to school at the University of Florida for TV and film production. Once I graduated 2 years early at the age of 19. I was turning 20 like a month or like a week later. I moved to Los Angeles, California, and I worked in Hollywood. Basically, I worked in TV and film production, and I absolutely hated it. So I moved back to Florida. I moved down to the Florida Keys, which are these islands just south of Miami. And I lived in Islamorada, and I got a job as the director of social media for a digital marketing company down there. And I had been doing social media on and off in Los Angeles, mainly for myself, growing my own following, which is kind of how I grew it to where it is today. That's how it started. And then I did a little bit of social media marketing and management for a movie that was coming out in Los Angeles. And I did a couple different like takeovers for other accounts. So I was working in social media. Then I moved to the Keys. I got the job as the director of social media. And I started working with really high profile clients like the Hyatt down in Key West, this TV show on Discovery Channel called The Fish Guys, Sotheby's International Realty, which is a really big real estate company, and a lot of other local Keys businesses. So that was really fun, but I hated being in an office. I hated being in an office. So I realized, you know, all of this is remote work. I mean, I did not need to be in one place to do this work. So I decided to quit my job, and with the intention of doing it myself. So I thought I could do this myself on my own time and work for myself, not have to work for anybody else. So I quit and I went to Bali, where I got certified to teach yoga. And that's where I met Brandon, who is my husband. And we traveled around the world for a year. And then I came back to Miami. And I got another job, which was so stupid. Why did I do that? Why? I said I was going to quit and start my own business. And then I came back. And I think a lot of the people that were close to me, like Brandon and my mom, were scared for me. They were nervous for me. So they weren't like super on board at first, which discouraged me. So then I ended up getting an office job, and I quit after 3 months. So I lasted 3 months, and I realized I cannot do this. I just have to take the leap and start my own business and take the risk. And I did it, and I'm very happy I did, because the first month after I started my business, I made more money than I did at my office job. So that says a lot. It was the biggest encouragement booster that I could have asked for. After that was COVID, so then it slowed down a bit. But since then, I've been building and building, and it's been amazing. And that's the reason why I'm in my van right now. That's the reason why I get to live the life that I live. And that's the reason why I'm teaching this workshop today. So next slide. Excuse me, I caught that, and I knew that was going to happen. Where did my presentation go? There we go. Someone just tried to call me. Sorry. Okay, what are you here for, and what do you want to learn? Why did you sign up for this workshop? I actually want to hear your thoughts and your comments on this. So please go ahead and type them into the chat box. I really want to know why you guys decided to sign up for my workshop today. And I'm going to take a couple guesses. So you probably signed up today because you want to learn how to run a business online and you want to learn how to make money from your social media following and from your social media accounts. And this is something I like to say all the time. And I actually think I posted about this recently. Everybody thinks that what we're after in life is happiness, but I think what we're really after is freedom. And that comes in all different shapes and forms. So financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, whatever freedom looks like for you, and it looks different for everybody. But the whole point is to find freedom, and monetizing an online business or an online presence is one of the roadmaps to that ultimate freedom that will give you financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. That freedom can come from growing your following and monetizing your account, hence the name of this workshop. The workshop is called Follow Freedom Workshop. I named it that on purpose because I want you guys to follow your path to freedom, and I want to help you guys do that. And this is why I'm so passionate about social media. It's not because of social media itself. I mean, let's be real, social media sometimes sucks. It can be really annoying. It can be really aggravating, really tiring. So it's not that I love Instagram and Facebook and I want to post about it all day. I love it because of the freedom that it gives me. I love it because it gave me the ability to buy a van and to pack up my van with my family and drive around the country. And later this year, it's going to give me the ability to fly around the world. If you want to know my travel plans, I'll tell you guys after. It's really awesome. And this wouldn't be possible in a regular job where you have to work 9 to 5 and you only get 2 weeks vacation off. So that was honestly my number one goal when I started my business. And now my number one goal and my number one hope when I do the work that I do is that people can bring in money and free up their time through social media marketing so that they can focus on their zone of freedom. And if you don't know, zone of genius, sorry. So if you don't know what your zone of genius is, it's what you're best at. It's what you love to do that doesn't feel like work and that comes naturally to you. Maybe, it's doing yoga, or maybe it's running a certain type of business that doesn't have anything to do with social media. So outsourcing your social media can give you more time in your zone of genius. That's why I offer monthly social media management, so that you can free up more of your time. But if you want to get really good at your own social media, I'm going to talk more about this at the end of the workshop. I want to help you do that yourself too. So I still want to give you the tools, and I still want to give you the roadmap to whatever freedom looks like for you. And I'll touch base with that at the end. So let's dive right in. Growing your following, plot twist. Obviously, we're going to start with the plot twist. You came here thinking you were going to get millions and millions of followers, and I'm telling you that you don't need millions and millions of followers, right? It's not the most important thing. Then what is the most important thing? The most important thing is having a warm audience who engages with your content and who buys from you. If people are not commenting and liking and engaging with you, and if they're not giving you money, what is the use of having a lot of followers, right? So how are we going to cultivate and to accumulate this kind of warm audience? How do you attain this audience? This is my secret formula, which is not so secret. Clear, consistent branding, clear, consistent messaging, engagement, and providing value. So we're going to go over all of these one at a time. Clear, consistent branding. What you want to make sure is that your brand is consistent and cohesive across all of your platforms, all of your social media channels, your website, everything. The most useful thing you can do to create this is to create a branding kit where you have your color palette. You want to stick to a set color palette. You want to choose maybe 2 or 3 fonts to stick with for your graphics and for your website so that it's cohesive all around. If you are the brand, keep the focus on you, but you want to figure out how to distinguish yourself from your competition. So what's going to make you stand out? A really good example of this like really great branding is Gala Darling. I don't know if you guys know her. She does EFT tapping. Her page is incredible because it's all pink and it's all purple, and she has this really loud statement branding. And even her hair is literally pink. So she embodies her brand so well. And she's a great example of distinguishing herself from the competition through her branding and her being really the face and the center point of her brand. So whatever you do, just make sure also that you're authentic to yourself. If you don't like the color pink, you know, don't make your feed all pink, and so on. So just make sure you're authentic to yourself and your brand is consistent across. Now, clear, consistent messaging. What you want to do for this, you want to write down your brand mission statement. So what are your goals? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What do you support? And you want to keep conveying these messages through your captions and through your stories, your lives, your website, everywhere. You want to talk about your branding pillars, your ethics, your brand culture, your brand ethos. Having a cohesive brand consists not only of visuals like photos and videos and graphics, but also your messaging. What are you writing in your captions? Are you properly conveying your brand? Are you communicating to your niche and to your target audience, to your industry? Engagement, don't forget, it's called social media, Be Social. My business coach, Natalie, who is on this workshop right now, told me this, and I love it so much, I'm going to tell you guys. She gave me the most brilliant analogy for this. She said, if you want to be interesting, be interested. And she said, imagine you're on a first date with somebody and that person spends the entire time only talking about themselves. You are going to think that they're the most boring, uninteresting person ever. You're not going to have a second date because they might be really interesting, but if they spend the whole time only talking about themselves, they don't ask you any questions, they don't engage with you or want to hear about you at all, you're not going to want to see them again. And this is very similar with social media. So, and this is something, to be honest with you, I resisted this idea a lot. So I was not the most engaging person on social media. I wouldn't go out of my way, aside from obviously when my friends posted something, I wouldn't go out of my way to try to engage with people out there on the internet. And once I started implementing this practice of actually engaging with people, I've seen the biggest difference. So sometimes it sucks, but it makes a really big difference. And I highly encourage it. A great way to do this is just to take 20 minutes every day or every other day just to engage with people and engage with people that you already follow through your newsfeed, but also go out and try to engage with, you know, new accounts, people that you don't follow through the Explore page and through hashtags. That's how you expand your audience and encourage that engagement that we want to warm up your audience. Okay, lastly, providing value. Give people a reason to follow you. Why do people want to follow you? Do you share tips and information on your industry? I see this a lot with social media managers, especially on Reels. They're always posting tips and tricks and best practices, and that makes me want to follow them so that I can keep receiving this information. They're actually providing a lot of value. This also works really well for the wellness and service industry, but it works for everything. So if you're a photographer, for example, again, on Reels, I've seen so many photographers post Reels and they talk about best practices and tips, how to change your camera settings, 5 best tips for wedding photography. But also, I follow a lot of really big accounts that only post beautiful images, and they'll post, it's like a collection of different photographs from a bunch of different artists and photographers, and that in itself is value. People follow those accounts. I think some of them are like Insta Good, Earth Pics, Take More Adventures. People follow those accounts to see the beautiful imagery. That's the value they're providing. Also, like, maybe think, do you post funny memes or videos? I'm pretty sure almost all of us follow at least one meme account on Instagram where we get all of our funny content from. Even bloggers and influencers provide value when they talk about their lives and their experiences, and that's based on what they know that their audience wants to hear. So why do people follow bloggers and influencers? Because they're constantly providing information and value for people. So think about this next time you make a post on your social media, and next time you caption a post on your social media, are you actually providing value in your caption? Are you communicating your brand through your messaging? Is it consistent? Is it cohesive? Are you engaging with other people? All of this culminated together will grow your audience and will attain the audience that you want, your target audience in your niche. Reels, I don't think I have to say this a lot or explain this. Reels is Instagram's way of competing with TikTok, and they're a great way to grow your following because Instagram is pushing them a lot. But you have to be careful with Reels, because if one of your Reels goes viral, you may get a ton of followers, but if those followers are not your niche or your target audience and they don't engage with your content, then you have a lot of followers, but your engagement rate is going down. And I'm going to talk more about engagement rate later on. But with Reels, a way to prevent that from happening is just to make sure that you're posting Reels that are relevant to your brand, relevant to your industry or your niche. So keep it relevant. If you're a social media manager, post tips on social media and tools and best practices. Don't maybe do a dance challenge that then goes viral and you get all of these people that just want to see people dancing on Reels, but that's not what you do. You're not dancing on a Reel, you're a social media manager. So be careful with Reels, but also great way to grow your following. I've seen so many people do these 30 Reels in 30 days challenges, and it works. But again, make sure that you're catching the right audience when you do that. Okay, we're gonna dive right into monetizing your Instagram. There are so many different ways that you can do this, and I feel like people don't maybe realize how many different ways you can make money just from your Instagram account. And I'm talking about Instagram specifically, but this does apply to Instagram, Facebook, a lot of other accounts. So sell a product, sell a service, brand partnerships, affiliate marketing, and IGTV ads. I'm not going to talk about IGTV ads too much. I just wanted to let you guys know that as of the end of May, Instagram has implemented this new feature that will put ads on top of influencer IGTV videos, very similar to what YouTube does when they put an ad before the video, or now it's even like literally in the middle of the video. So this is just a new feature that they have added to stimulate money coming into influencers. And we are going to dive right in. Sell a product. Instagram Shop is literally in the main bottom tab of your phone. So I'm sure everyone has this update at this point. You can click and see the Instagram Shop right away. So Instagram has been trying to, which is owned by Facebook, by the way, has been trying to figure out different ways to monetize as much as they can. Obviously, whenever you buy something on Instagram or Facebook, they keep a certain percentage of that. But it's also a great way to push your product and to push your services, but mainly products, because it's Instagram Shop. So targeted ads work really well. And it's not something I personally delve into too deeply with my clients. I focus more on organic growth and organic marketing and promotion. The way that I promoted this workshop is a good example of that. I only promoted it on my page organically. I did not pay for any kind of advertisement, and I got 50 people to sign up, and I promoted for less than 2 weeks. So that's pretty good, and that's really what I like to focus on with my clients and what I like to teach them. But targeted ads work really well. Tell me how many times you've seen a targeted ad for a product that you absolutely love or that you're interested in. Tell me how many times you've clicked on that ad, and tell me how many times you've actually bought that product. Actually, I'm just out of curiosity, write in the chat if you've ever bought anything, a product or anything from a targeted ad. Write it in the chat, because I have one of my best friends is consistently shopping on Instagram and sending me targeted ads, and she's always buying something. So there's no doubt that these work. They also work for services. So I've seen many promoted posts and many targeted ads talking about selling services, including social media marketing and coaching services and workshops. So when you do a targeted ad, you can actually really pinpoint, you can set different goals and you can set different, I guess, just goals that you want to achieve. Like you can make it, excuse me, sorry. If this popped up, sorry. Okay. You can set different goals for targeted ads. So if you want to drive more traffic to your website, or if you want to get more link clicks, or if you want to get more emails for your newsletter, for your email marketing, you can set different targeted ads that work for different functions, which is really great. So I definitely encourage people to utilize that. Like I said, I don't delve really deep into this, but this is something you can outsource. This is something that I've recently outsourced. What I work on with my clients is your personal and your business accounts. You can sell your services the way that I do, strictly through organic marketing and organic promotion. Sorry, I keep getting these things that pop up and I'm trying not to get them. Okay. All right, we're back to this slide because guess what? All of what I talked about for growing your audience applies to monetizing your account. So everything you do to actually get your target audience also applies to selling your services. That's the key, to be clear and consistent with your branding, to be clear and consistent with your messaging, to be engaging and to encourage other people to engage with your content and to provide value and give people a reason to follow you and give people a reason to buy your product. So I stress this because this is the formula to success, but you have to be consistent with it. And that's where so many people lack, I feel, is in consistency, because they have a million other things going on, which is totally understandable. We all live in the real world and have different hobbies and jobs and responsibilities. Maybe we have kids, maybe we have other outside projects, maybe we volunteer. It's hard to consistently do these things on a consistent basis when you have all of these other responsibilities on your plate, which is where I come in and which is where I help my clients stay consistent and stay on track of their social media. Okay. Influencers and bloggers. Brand partnerships are different than affiliate marketing, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Brand partnerships are when brands will pay you to post about and to talk about your product. So they'll send you something usually for free. If it's not for free, don't do it. It's a scam. They'll send you something for free and they'll pay you a certain amount to post about it on your feed or to post about it on your stories. What you need in order to do this is a niche, an engaging audience, and a media kit. So we all know to niche down and to find our target in our industry. Engaging audience, this is where I mentioned before that your engagement rate plays a big role, because if you have a really big audience, but you're actually not getting that much engagement on your posts, your engagement rate is really low and brands really don't like that. So you're going to miss out on brand partnerships if you have a ton of followers from like a reel that went viral, but then they're not saving your post, they're not commenting, they're not sharing it, right? And we've all seen that. We've seen those accounts with like thousands and thousands of followers, but they get like less than 100 likes on a post, right? That's suspicious. And a media kit. So I attached this photo here in the corner just to let you guys know that I do actually sell a media kit on my website. What you would get is my sample media kit, and then you would get a completely customized template for it, which I encourage you to make your own. So change up the design, change up the format, change up the colors, everything, make it your own. But this is a good way to start off. Some of you guys maybe have never even seen a media kit. Some of you guys maybe don't know what information to include in your media kit. So this can be a good starting point for that, where it'll show you page by page everything you need to talk about and to include in your media kit. And basically the media kit just helps show a brand that you want to work with, who you are, who your target audience is, who your demographic is, why they want to work with you. And oh, Stephanie, this is you. Can you drop that link in the chat, please? I actually sent the link to Stephanie so she can drop it in the chat so I don't have to exit out of my PowerPoint for this. So she's gonna drop the link to the media kit in the chat for anyone who's interested in taking a look. Okay, affiliate marketing, different from brand partnerships. Affiliate marketing is when you work for commission. So a brand will give you a discount code and you will promote their products, and whoever buys a product through your discount code contributes to your sales, and then you make a commission usually at the end of the week or at the end of the month. This can be very, very lucrative. I included an example of some affiliate marketing that I do here. So at the bottom of this caption, you'll see TS Emma for 15% off Twisted Silver. Twisted Silver is the necklace I'm wearing in that photo, and it's literally the warehouse that I'm sitting in right now doing this. So this is one of the brands that I do affiliate marketing with. Sometimes, depending on, obviously, you want to work with brands in your niche, depending on if you're an influencer, if you're a blogger, whatever your industry is. But sometimes even then you want to tweak it a bit. So one of my girlfriends was really trying to promote skincare and she was not successful in it, but then she started promoting workout clothes, and she's a bar instructor, and that took off. And she makes, I think, $500 a month just from affiliate marketing. So the brand doesn't actually pay her for the posts. She just makes it from people who use her coupon code and her referral code. And this also works on websites. So if you have a blog, you can put an affiliate link, and like Amazon has a really good affiliate program. So if you link a product on Amazon through your blog and people buy it through your link, you actually get a commission of that. So affiliate marketing is another great way to monetize your account, and you don't need a business. You don't need to actually be selling anything through this. This is why it's so important to cultivate your own personal brand on social media, because you can make a lot of money that way. So thank you guys so much for joining. I want to know what your biggest takeaways are. And I don't know how to pull up the chat. Hold on. But please, in the chat, tell me what your biggest takeaways were from this. What was there something that you learned here that you didn't know before? What are you going to go and implement in your social media strategy after this workshop? Tell me that in the chat below, or unmute yourself. You can talk. Unmute yourself and tell me. Okay, I'm reading the blog.
I was just
go ahead.
About creating, like, you know, the brand, and I from this presentation I was thinking more about like what are my goals and what are my, you know, what's my mission. So I think that's definitely something that I'll be thinking about, and I'm glad that you brought it up.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we both, Stephanie, for whoever doesn't know, Stephanie and I both work with Natalie. She's a business coach. She's the best. She's on this call right now. And she's really good at branding. So, and if you want to like make the leap and start your own business, you can refer to her. I'm just trying to read these. I've been running my business for a few years now, a couple of puns. Oh, yes. We sell stationery and gifts online in retail shops nationwide. Unless doing giveaways and whatnot, I find it difficult to grow my following. Also would love to find fun ways to monetize the punny content we're always sharing. Yes, so that content is valuable. It's funny. It's punny. It's funny and it's punny, right? So I'm sure you have a really good brand too. Guys, this is A Couple Puns is a brand that I've worked with multiple times in the past. They have an awesome brand. Maybe consistency might be something that you can, I don't know if you have, you know, a social media manager, or if you have a schedule for your posts, or just engaging. Another thing with businesses, it's hard from a business profile to go out and to be authentic when you're engaging with an audience. Sometimes it's hard to, like, you're scrolling through and you find a post and you're like, well, I want to engage with them, but like, what do I even comment? What do I talk about? So being engaging is going to really help with your personal engagement and growing your following. Okay, Katie said, I wanted to be more aware of social media with regards to business and how to market one's own business, have more flexibility with my time so that I'm able to get practice my purpose in this age of tech. Yes. I hope I answered some of those questions. I'm such a consumer. I bought so many things. Yeah, same. I'm constantly buying from Target ads. Now I'm not, because I don't have a shipping address because I live in a car, but I have before many times. I was not aware the amount of followers affects your numbers and its relation to the engagement rate, so to speak. Yes, I don't think a lot of people don't know that. They think like the more followers, the better. And that can be true in maybe some instances. Like if someone just clicks on your profile and just looks at the follower account and they're like, wow, you have such a big account. But once you scroll through and you see that they're not getting the correlating amount of engagement, that's suspicious. And that's something that brands look for. So if you're looking to partner with a brand, either through paid partnerships or affiliate marketing, something to keep in mind, is your engagement rate. That's really where it is. What's your take on maintaining your authenticity while trying to be engaged with social media? This can be hard sometimes, because like I said, I will spend the 20 minutes a day to try to engage with other accounts, and I'll come across so many posts that don't invite engagement, and this is something I always tell my clients too. Like when you post a photo, I mean, if you're Kim Kardashian, you can post a photo with the caption that says mood, or with a caption of like a few emojis, right? But if you're like some random person, what do you expect me to comment to that? What do you expect me to like to engage with? So trying to find people that invite engagement in their posts and that you actually have something to say. So it's fine if all you say is, wow, this is such an awesome photo, or maybe thanks for the advice, thanks for the takeaway, love your profile, would love to make a new friend, stuff like that. Just make sure you're being, like I said, authentic. And it can be hard, for sure. It takes some time, I think. But eventually the algorithm will see the posts that you engage with and will start showing you similar posts. So then that way you don't see, the boring posts anymore. And then you see more of people that are actually maybe in your niche or in your industry. Also, okay, another tip on that, Katie, is to search through hashtags. So depending on your business or industry or interests or whatever, search a hashtag in that and then comment on and engage with the posts that are within that hashtag, because that's more likely to be your target audience, or to be people that you actually, care about their content. Okay, Veronica said, biggest takeaways: engaging with others, consistency, creating a palette scheme, or buy Emma's branding kit and modify. Yeah, so the branding kit is a great place to start. It's a media kit, not a branding kit. It's a media kit for paid partnerships, but a branding kit is also very essential. So honestly, just Google, look it up, and it's really easy to make, and you can make one for yourself or outsource it. What's a better engagement for your numbers, to speak, story, or post? That's a good question. And that, I think, is it depends on you personally and what your audience is more receptive to. I think for me personally, speaking on my stories is the best. So an example, which I forgot to mention, about selling a product on Instagram, you always want to start with maybe just promoting through your personal brand, because normally a rule of thumb is that the first couple of people that are going to buy from you are going to be people that know you. And when I first started my candle business, my scented candle company at the beginning of this year, I sold out completely my first batch of candles just through talking about it on my personal page, on my stories. So for me, I think stories is where it's at personally, but everybody is different. So experiment and try things here and there. Maybe some people really love to do lives and get a lot of engagement through that. So try a couple different things and see what works for you. Yes, Canva has great branding templates. Canva is actually the website where you will create your media kit. If you buy my media kit, there will be a link and it'll take you to the format, like the template of it, where it's completely customizable. Your stories are amazing, Emma. I love them. Oh, thank you so much. I'm trying. Yeah, and being engaging on your stories too, that's a whole other topic. Doing polls, running polls, doing the little quizzes. I did a quiz earlier today. Trying to be as engaging on your stories as you can. And I feel like so many more people will respond or reply to one of my stories than will actually go and comment on a post. I don't know if it's just my audience that thinks it's more it's more personal to respond to a story. Maybe they don't want their comment floating around there on the internet, but I get a lot more responses, I think, to stories than anything else. Any more questions? I love answering these questions. If you have any more questions, type them in the chat. How about educative pages? What about them? Everyone's page should be, to some degree or another, educating, because that's how it provides value. Well, that's not true, because you can be really entertaining and that still provides value, which is why movies make so much money, is because entertainment is very valuable to people. But yes, I think sprinkling in a little bit of info and a little bit of education really helps. I feel like these aren't as engaging as like the shoppers page. So like how to build that up. Mixing and matching, that's a good point. Yeah, sometimes if you have just like a completely informative page, it's not as engaging, but maybe you need to look at other aspects of it. Maybe you need to look at your branding. Is your brand consistent, cohesive? Are you communicating your brand messaging? Are you inviting people to engage? Are you giving them a call to action? Are you asking people like, comment if you agree, send this to somebody who needs to see this post, give us what's your opinion, let us know what you think. So that's another way to really call engagement to that kind of stuff. Okay, last slide on here. What's next? Obviously, to work with me. So I want to tell you guys about my newest offering. You guys all know that I offer monthly social media management, but I've gotten a lot of people that still come to me and ask me for advice and ask me for guidance and ask me for my help, and they can't afford the bigger ticket price of making a monthly commitment. So I've decided that I really want to still help those people, and I really want to still give you guys the tools and the roadmap to go and follow and find your own version of freedom. So that's why I decided to start a one-on-one coaching program. It'll be a 6-week container where you will be getting a ton of PDFs with tools and information, and we will have a 1-hour phone call once a week with a lot of other communication, emailing in between. This is for somebody that wants to take social media into their own hands, wants to learn how to do it on their own, who maybe doesn't want or can't at this moment in time afford the bigger ticket investment of a monthly management. So if this interests you, I'm going to have Stephanie drop the link to my calendar below, and you guys can book a free phone call interview with me, and we can talk and see if this is a smart investment for you. And if nothing else, you'll still be walking away with some kind of takeaway or some kind of quick strategy that you can implement. Thank you, Stephanie, for dropping that in there. So please, guys, if this resonates with you, if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, book a call with me and let's talk and let's discuss. And, maybe once we work together and we develop your specific social media strategy and then you go off and implement it, you'll see the results and you'll then later on be ready to outsource your social media completely. That's what I needed to do before I made my investment to work with Natalie, and before I started outsourcing things, was I had to do it myself and learn the hard way. And then once I saw results, I kept outsourcing, and that just keeps building up and building up like a snowball effect. So yeah, any other questions for me? Would you do your engagement call to action towards the beginning or end of your post? I used to do it at the end, but I find sometimes if it is a long post, people don't read that far. That is a very good point. I do most of my call to actions at the end of the post, but some of them, I feel like when I ask people to save a post, if it's informational and they would like to save this information, maybe come back to it at a later stage, I'll put that right at the beginning. So depending on what the call to action is, I think you can do a little bit of both. When my call to action is DM me, I usually put that at the end because I tell a story or I'm giving them information. And to be honest, the people that the audience that you're attracting, the people that you want to work with, your clients, the people that are actually interested in you and your services and your product and what you have to provide will take the time to read the caption and follow the call to action. So, but definitely experiment. All of this is experimenting with your own stuff and seeing what works best for you. Maybe stories, maybe posts, maybe the call to action at the beginning of the post, maybe at the end of the post. Your stories can have a call to action too. Any other questions for me? Of course, Veronica, thank you so much for being here today. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I think we've put both of the links are there. So to the Media Kit and to the calendar to schedule a call with me. You guys are the first to hear about the social media coaching, except for one of my friends that has already signed up. So we are going to start next week. And I only have 5 spots. Well, now only 4 because she did sign up. So now I only have 4 spots left. So if you want to work with me, go click the link in my bio. Thank you, learned so much. I love you, Stephanie. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys. If you have any more questions, feel free to DM me after this. Just FYI, I think Zoom chat will clear after you end the meeting. So save the links if you need them. Thank you for that point, Veronica. Yes, I'm not the most proficient at Zoom. I actually had to pay to upgrade the account today, which was a hassle, but okay, well, thank you guys so much. Stephanie sent the links again. So if you guys want to copy and paste those, and I'm going to send an email. I'm going to send this in an email and I'll send the links in the email as well. So thank you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday and you guys have a great weekend. I love you all. I don't know how to end this. Pause, share, new share. How do I close?
End meeting. No?
There is no end meeting. So I have to, okay, I have to stop sharing my screen first, and then I can end the meeting. Thank you. Proficient in social media, useless in Zoom. Bye, guys.
Amazing.